Hello. Happy Tuesday. I know. Where's the theme song? Well, guess what? We have a new theme song. And this is the first time I'm going to hear it. Erik and Susan worked on it. Thank you, Susan Murphy, for doing our theme song once again. I can't even wait.
Oh, my God. It's so good.
So here's the Laura Kane After Dark official theme song. Go.
Are you ready?
I am so ready.
Let's count it down.
Okay. By 3. Not 10. 3.
No, let's by 20.
No.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
It's Laura P3 Posse.
Ooh, that is very sexy.
Isn't it? Well,
I like it.
We are after dark.
You know what? That's catchy too, because I can just, my mind tonight, I'm going to be like, Laura Kane After Dark. Laura Kane
Isn't
After
she
Dark.
good?
She's so good.
She's so
Did
good
she
at
do
that.
that with GarageBand again? I mean, whatever she used, it was amazing.
I know. No, I don't know what it was. I watched her do it.
You did?
On Zoom.
FaceTime?
Yeah, on FaceTime. It was awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank
That's
you,
super
Susan.
fun.
We love you. You're so awesome.
What happened with the lyrics? We just decided no lyrics?
We thought it was sexier without.
It is sexier.
Yeah.
It's mysterious, just like our show. Sexy and mysterious.
And then if I decide to kick things up a notch, then she doesn't have to change the lyrics. Like, Erik's nasty, and then suddenly I'm virginal.
You're
and
godly.
Sweet. Yeah.
So we don't have to we don't have to worry about it.
We don't, because then it just transcends all behaviors.
Can you play it again?
Yes, I can play it again.
Yeah, just real quick. I'm going to hear it one more time. Now we'll pretend like we're starting the show. Ready? Go.
Oh my God.
I knew it.
Oh
I
my
knew
God.
it.
Hold on.
Counting
Wait.
down
Just
from
wait.
10,
Count.
9,
Yeah.
8, 7,
Do it. Hold on.
6,
Oh my God. Hold on.
5.
It's not working. Hold
Are
on.
you serious?
Okay, here we
4, 3, 2, 1.
It's Laura P3 Posse.
I'm getting Berlin vibes.
Very much so.
Very much so. Well, hello. Welcome to Laura Kane After Dark. What's going on? Happy Tuesday. I'm Laura Kane. Hold on one sec. Oh.
No, I'm not right now.
Not now?
Not yet.
Erik had to tell me a secret in the middle of the introduction.
Sorry, I know. I couldn't help myself.
When would you like me to ask that question?
In like a minute or so.
In a minute or so.
We'll
Okay.
get through our...
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's...
I have to say something.
Okay.
Your bodacious tatas look extremely bodacious this evening.
I'm very excited because Monique from Jolla Cosmetic's coming in to talk about us. New you, 2022, new you. What's going on? What's new? What can we get done this year to make us look hot? And so I had to bring out the girls because...
Should I bring out the boys?
No.
Oh.
There's not, as far as I know, there's no surgery for enlarging balls.
Well, I don't need that surgery. They're already huge.
What's your ratio, penis to ball ratio?
Pretty even.
It's even?
Yeah.
So huge and huge. Oh, my God, Erik.
My God, we're 1 minute in.
Oh,
Sorry,
my
Lori.
gosh. All right.
Oh, my God. Look at she's pounding her
I know.
forehead like, oh, God, I'm watching the monitor. She's
I
already
know.
horrified.
She's horrified.
God.
Okay. So we want to address a topic, kind of not the elephant in the room, but sort of. We wanted to let you know the following.
Linda has left the podcast to focus on her career. So we thank her for her participation on our show. We wish her all the best.
We do. We wish her everything but the best. It was just too much to do both. And so she's focusing on her career. And good luck to you, Linda. And I'm sure we'll be meeting sometime soon. On that note, I have to tell you what happened on last week.
Okay.
So...
Is this something I know about or no?
Oh, no.
Oh,
I don't think so.
Oh, good grief.
It's nothing. It's nothing bad. It's a kind of sad.
Oh no.
No, it's not like that sad, but kind of sad. So when Evan was 2, this was 2006. For Halloween, I went to Walmart and I bought this.
Oh no.
This
that hideous pirate.
Shut up. The
Oh my God.
pirate skeleton. He's about 5 feet tall, and he used to sing this song when you'd press his toe. He'd rock back and forth, but eventually that died away. I lost the plug, and then he shorted out. We left him out in the rain. Long story short, we still have Bobby. His name's Bobby. Evan named him Bobby.
He was terrifying.
Oh my gosh. Well, whenever I'd put him out for Halloween, people would come and vandalize him. One time they rolled up a bunch of papers and made a pirate penis. And they stuck it on there. He's been toilet papered. He's been totally vandalized.
You're lucky I didn't light him on fire.
Why would you do that?
Because he was hideous.
That's the point.
Yeah.
It's Halloween.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be scary and hideous.
Yeah.
But we fell in love with him. He was part of the family. And every year we'd put out Bobby, even though like one arm's hanging off and he's kind of lurches to the side now and he's all faded and his hat is pushed down. So I said to myself, when Evan is 18, that's when I'm going to get rid of Bobby. We were doing some stuff in the garage. Antonio was helping me, and he said, we really could use some more room in here, so why don't you get rid of this thing? I'm like, Bobby? No. He's like, it's time. And I thought to myself, well, next Halloween, Evan's going to be 18, so this was her last Halloween with Bobby. So I said to Antonio, I'll go, okay, you can put him out. You can get rid of him. I don't know how you're going to do it, but you can get rid of him. I pick up Evan from school a couple days later. Late, like 5:36. We drive down our street, and standing right at the trash can with his arm around the trash can is Bobby, standing out there waiting for the trash truck the next morning.
Oh my God.
And Evan's like, no, Bobby. Oh, no, Mom, no. I said, well, what do you want me to do, Evan? I can't keep this. This is a fire hazard at this point, Bobby is.
Pretty much.
I know it's really sad. Just she took a selfie with him, and she took pictures of him so she'd always remember him. And during the night, somebody stole Bobby. So he didn't even go to the trash dump.
Well, now he's with some probably total wacko.
I know. Like, who would take that?
Bobby is probably somebody's sex slave pirate.
Well, I told Evan, hey, he's living a whole new life. This is exciting.
Yeah, probably in someone's dungeon.
Probably in
a sling.
I
Yeah.
know. It's got to be something sick.
Yeah, for
right?
sure. Yeah.
Because who would take that?
That distended arm is probably giving hand jobs.
Oh, my gosh. Don't do that to Bobby. Come on.
Bobby was sick and twisted.
He was the best Halloween decoration ever. Oh, my music's not playing.
I don't know.
He'd rock back and forth, and his eyes would get, like, lighted up, and they'd wiggle around. So, Bobby, thank you for all the years of Halloween fun. We love you.
Terrorizing me.
Terrorizing Erik and terrorizing the neighborhood and bringing joy to the neighborhood as well.
And you're bringing joy to some
here
total
he
sex
is.
perv right
Here
now.
he is at the trash can.
Oh, God, that thing was just hideous.
I know. He was so old.
Oh.
How old? Oh, 18 years almost.
Oh.
No, 16 years.
Almost my age.
Oh, yes. We're not going to talk about age. We're not
I'm
talking
not
about
anymore.
age. You're not?
No.
You've decided, how was your birthday? Your birthday was Saturday.
It was great.
Awesome. So, what'd you do?
We went kayaking on Saturday.
Is that actually fun?
It was a blast. So,
Did you get seasick?
no, not at all. No, I don't get seasick.
I heard that people get seasick sometimes from
No,
that.
somebody did say that they did.
Oh, that they puked?
Yeah.
Oh.
But no, I was just initially nervous because I sink like a stone.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So, but you have the life vest on and you
Yeah.
have to wear a helmet until you get out in the water.
You have to wear a helmet?
Initially when you first go out, but then you can take it off. And
Okay.
I thought if I fall over the side, which I was almost guaranteed that I would, because the waves hit you and you kind
Yeah,
of
going out must be hard.
yeah, and you kind of rock back and forth, and you get splashed with water, and it was cold. So, but then once you got out there, it was really nice. And it's so weird to see the perspective of all these homes in La Jolla. So the tour guide was really cool. And he was telling us these stories about like Dr. Seuss. And Dr. Seuss was really a cad. Like he was having an affair on his wife, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. And would party all night at this house. And then he told us that the houses all on the cliff there around the cove, all those homes in La Jolla that are on the water, none of them have homeowners insurance because they won't insure you. You have to have at least I think the houses are around 50 million. You have to have at least I think it's 5 million, I think he said, in just cash. And
For what reason?
Well, here you go. Parts of the
cliff?
The cliff are, I think, limestone, and so you can just touch it and it caves away.
Oh,
so
boy.
One guy that lives on the cliff has rebuilt his house allegedly 5 times. It keeps moving it back, and now he's completely as far as he can go. So if your house, any part of the house at all, falls into the ocean, it's $25,000 a day. You have to hire divers. You have to hire barges to clean whatever's fallen in.
Oh, my
out.
gosh. So it's happened before.
Helicopters, yeah. So he pointed out one house where the whole mother-in-law flat fell into the water.
Oh, no.
And it cost them, just for the days it took to get it, $400,000.
Damn.
So anybody that lives on that coast has a lot of disposable
So nobody
income.
will insure them.
Nobody will insure them
Oh, my gosh.
at all. So it was fascinating, and then we got
sure
to go,
is beautiful,
oh,
though.
yeah, it's so
that
beautiful.
view is unbelievable.
But we had seals, or the seals going by us, and all these birds that were so cute and everything. And
Did you see any sharks or anything?
no, and no, but I sink like a stone. So I was afraid that if I went over the side, I would be like that necklace in the
Well,
Titanic.
you know how to swim.
I know how to swim, but I just sink. So I would have to like dog paddle for my life.
When you go to a swimming pool, you can't can't keep yourself afloat by treading water?
Yeah, I can tread water, but it's exhausting.
Oh my God. When was the last time you actually swam?
Over the summer.
Oh. Where?
In
At a pool?
LA.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, at Marla's
Yeah.
house? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you did that.
Did that, and then we went to Wolfie's Carousel.
What is that?
It is awesome. Have you ever heard of it, Lori? So it's a bar and restaurant in Little Italy.
What's it close to?
It's at the beginning of Kettner. It's at the beginning of it's on.
Is it where that Mexican restaurant
Yes,
used to be?
yes.
El Camino?
El
Is that what
Camino.
okay.
It's not El Camino anymore, but
It's
right
near
there
there.
near the Harley Davidson.
Oh, okay.
And it's a Parisian carousel inside. So when you're sitting at the bar, it rotates around. And I said, if you were hammered at this bar, you'd probably throw up.
Can you feel yourself moving?
Oh, yeah. You can watch everything moving. And I tried to be funny and pick out like olives and stuff as we were rotating around. And, it's not a buffet. So that little thing was thwarted. But then we had some food there, and then we went to Fort Oak for dinner.
Oh, that's in my hood.
Yeah, that's in your hood.
Mission
and
Hills.
It was fantastic. It was fantastic. The service was great. The restaurant was really
Is it
cool.
really expensive?
It's moderately priced.
Medium?
Yeah, but
Okay.
it was absolutely.
Which you have.
I had it's a lot of shared plates. You can actually get an entree, but we weren't super hungry because we'd eaten at Wolfie's.
Yeah, you went to 2 places.
Yeah, and so we had some shared plates that were really good. Really, really, everything was delicious.
Did you get anything for your birthday?
I did.
What'd you get?
I'm going to talk about it on my favorite things.
Oh, we're doing our favorite things, our 5 favorite
Yeah.
things on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't wait. I can't even wait to see what your 5 are.
Oh, yeah.
Mine
They're
are, one is really weird, but we'll get to that on
good. Let me
Thursday.
put on my big surprise thing.
So is that your host chat?
Yeah, it was great. It was
That's
super,
great.
super fun. Yeah.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you. I had a great time.
Are you 54?
I'm 55.
What?
Uh-huh.
How am I 2 years younger than you?
You just are.
I kind of like that.
Do you?
I feel super young right now.
Do you like older men?
Yes, I do. I actually like younger men.
Oh, well.
A 43-year-old just bought a new Tesla.
Oh,
that
did he?
I'm supposed to go over there and check out.
Are you going to take it for a ride?
I want to.
The car or him?
I want to. We'll see. We'll see. I haven't really been
Lori is not
focusing on
laughing
that.
at that.
I haven't been
Oh, there
focusing
she
on
goes.
that.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get a room rented in my house because Antonio is officially moving out, and I'm looking for a traveling nurse to move in for a couple months, and so I've been really focused on that. So I haven't really gone on any dates with anybody, and my Hinge account just expired, so
Oh,
I didn't really find anybody on there that blew my mind or anything, and I was actually kind of bored with it. So it's just not time.
yeah.
And am I going to meet my guy on a dating app? Am I?
I don't know.
Do you think?
You could. I know people.
Will
have
that be? Do you think that would lessen our love story?
No.
No, because these days it's fine. Remember back in the day, it was like, oh my God, you're on a dating site.
Yeah, but I think now it's totally acceptable.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'll get back on that as soon as I can. Unless you have any friends that
you're
you
like,
want to set me up with.
I could do that too.
Because that's kind of how I think I'm going to meet somebody.
I agree.
Is you're somebody like you is going to say, hey, there's this guy that I know that just got a divorce.
No, not divorced. I don't want you to be somebody's.
I'm going to be.
Rebound.
I'm going to be.
Not
what is that
necessar-
sound? Is that you, Lori? Are you making sounds? Do you keep hearing
I
like
did.
someone's voice?
Yeah, it might.
What's freezing? Oh,
we do?
Okay. So it was Lori. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we are on the Wi-Fi here at the station, so I don't know. I don't know how good it is. So hopefully we won't freeze
if
anymore.
we freeze on her, I hope we freeze when we both look really, really good.
I know. Have you seen that commercial? I think it's for Cox.
Yes.
It's Hush Little Baby. And she's singing to her kids, and then her face gets all distorted and like a horror movie. And the kids are like, ah! No, that's terrible. I'm trying to get up your Daily Dirt Double D music.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have a bunch, don't you?
Let me tell you, it has been a busy, busy week so far.
Well, I can't. I'm going to sing it, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, do you really?
Are you ready?
I don't know if I am.
No, it'll be good.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Hollywood, dun dun dun. Hollywood swinging, do 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 do. Yeah.
Wow, that was impressive.
Thank you.
Let's record you singing it afterwards. After the show.
So we can play that in the future?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, right. Shoot, where did it go? I can't find the song. But I can't wait to hear what's going on in the dirt.
Oh my God, it has been insane.
People are dying all over the place.
Dropping dead. 2022 for Hollywood has not been good. I have a feeling everybody's running for the Hollywood Hills.
So it came in threes, right?
Well, Betty White technically, because she was at the end of 2021. Sidney Poitier just died at 94.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Mr. Tibbs. Bob Saget died today. Or yesterday.
Or no, on Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. That's right. He was 65. So
What happened?
He was getting ready to do a show, and he was at his hotel and was supposed to check out. And so someone on his team asked the hotel to check on him, and he was found just laying in bed. He had his arm over his chest. His right arm was like laying by his side, and no drugs or foul play. So he might have had a heart attack or something.
Well, heck, that's a good way to go.
Yeah, I guess
nice.
so.
It sounds like it was peaceful.
Yeah.
If he's like laying so perfectly.
I know.
I hope when they find me dead, that I'm that perfect. Like my hands are
Don't worry.
crossed over my chest.
I'll be with you. Don't worry.
I look like an angel.
Yeah, well, you will, because you always look like an angel.
Oh.
They said today that Betty White most likely died from a stroke that she had suffered 6 days earlier. So, yeah. So, Betty White, love her. Rihanna is going to open Savage X Fenty stores across the nation.
Oh, I'm so excited.
As if she's not rich enough already.
I love that stuff.
I love Fenty.
And you have to be a VIP member if you want to get the good prices on her lingerie line.
Oh.
And like it's like $14 a month or something, but then you get these great prices, but then you have to pay that every month.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're not a VIP member, the prices are really high.
Have you seen my my Savage X Fenty shoes for men?
No.
That she did with Puma?
No.
Oh, they're awesome.
What color?
They're black.
Oh.
They're leather. They're really cool.
Is she going to come out with another fashion show?
I don't know. Hopefully.
Did you see the fashion show on Prime?
I've seen all three of them.
Mind blowing. That was unbelievable.
They're awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome. Sinead O'Connor's 70-year-old son, Shane, was found dead.
I saw that.
So did you hear? So she lives in Ireland.
Okay.
And he had been on a suicide watch. And he's apparently, allegedly, this is what she's saying, I guess happened, is he said, I want to check myself out. And he was on, a 5150 or whatever it is, or whatever it is there. And they were like, okay. And they let him go and he killed himself.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So she's furious and letting everybody have it over there. And
like the mental institution that let him go?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, and the police department or whatever over there. So, yeah, I don't think we've heard the last of this. Okay.
What?
I always make this disclaimer. I love her. I think she's talented. I love her voice. Have all her music. Did you hear what Demi Lovato did?
Oh, Demi. What'd she do?
She got a huge tattoo of my least favorite thing in the entire world. It's called a grandmother spider on the side of her head.
What? So is it, does she have a shaved head?
Yeah, so she shaved off like a box size thing.
Oh, so it's not on her face.
No, it's on her.
Well, heck, why not? The hair's going to grow back. It doesn't really matter.
I
but
know,
a spider?
Yeah.
Maybe that's her spirit animal.
I don't care.
A grandmother spider those are scary.
It looks like a big black widow. It's awful. I'm going to show it to you right now. I thought I was going to puke when I saw it.
Oh my gosh, that's disturbing.
It's humongous. I don't know why.
Oh wow, that is not okay.
That's just a mistake.
That is a big mistake. Ouch.
That would be like me getting a tattoo of a vagina on my back.
How much would it $500,000 a small vagina on your back?
No.
$1 million a small vagina on your back?
Nope.
$2 million?
No.
$10 million for a small tattoo of a vagina on your back?
Done.
Oh, I did $10 million?
Sure.
Not for one, but for 10.
Sure.
Okay.
Then I can spend a couple $100,000 to get it removed, and then I'm good.
Oh my god!
Would I have to keep it?
Yes.
All right.
Well, we'll make when I have that money, we'll make the rules then.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Or if I have the money, maybe we'll both have that money.
That's right. I like the way you think.
So I'm so excited. Chucky, the series, was just renewed for a second season.
Did you watch it?
Yes.
And?
Yeah, it was good.
You don't seem convinced.
I liked it, but I like Chucky.
Well, it must be good if they're renewing it.
He's kind of, like a little mini me.
He is a little terror.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
A little redheaded terror.
Yeah, exactly.
Running around scaring people.
Okay. Britney Spears unfollowed her sister Jamie Lynn on Instagram.
Oh, boy.
Have you seen those pictures that she's been showing?
Did you see the one where she's naked and she has a little tiny heart covering her vajayjay?
Yeah.
What the heck?
And did you see the butt pic today?
No.
Wow. I mean, she has a great
a great body.
Yeah.
But that was a little bit too much.
Yeah,
but
wasn't it a cupcake or something, or was it?
No, it was a little heart.
Oh.
I think. That's what I remember, and it said something like, "This is what a free woman looks like."
Oh yeah,
This is what freedom looks like, or something like that. Oh
wow.
boy. Oh,
I
boy.
mean, oh boy. I'm
I
just
hope.
chomping
I
at the
think she's fine.
I do too.
I think she's fine.
I think she, and if you want to be naked, all the more power to her.
Yeah, if I look like that.
Listen, do you watch The Real Housewives of OC?
No,
Oh
I
my
get annoyed with
God.
it.
Why?
Because I can't stand all the opulence and the wealth.
No, Lori, don't nod yes.
I don't like it anymore.
Lori's nodding yes, and I'm in both feet. 100%.
I get jealous. I just get a little jealous because
I wouldn't be jealous because they're all fucking miserable.
Why?
I mean, sorry, excuse my French. So well, you don't watch it, but if anybody's listening, does anybody know Jennifer Armstrong, the plastic surgeon that does the fillers and everything? That's the new one on the show this season.
Oh no.
Okay, so she's blonde, pretty. She has a husband that barely wears clothes. Allegedly, there's a lawsuit being filed because she allegedly employed an unlicensed doctor who was performing procedures.
Injections and stuff?
Yeah, and I guess he has a alleged long rap sheet.
Uh-oh.
They're all... I was like, do they not screen anybody on these shows? They're all coming out with...
Do you watch Project Runway?
Yes.
Did you see the housewives were on the runway? Project Runway. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't
tape
seen that
it.
one yet.
I record it. But apparently Gina comes across as very good. Like she's really likable.
I like her a lot.
She's relatable, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she she gets on the designers for smoking. There's some that smoke out in the back.
Oh, yeah.
She says, hey, you shouldn't do that. But she says that in a cute way. That's what I read.
Oh, good. Oh, good. So that's it.
All right. Woo! Hollywood. Okay, I'm going to go out.
Where are you going?
Or maybe you can go.
What are you
Yeah,
sending me to do?
Hold on. Coming up, we have Monique from La Jolla Cosmetic, and she's going to talk about 2022 and the new you.
You should probably go because
I'll go.
I will probably freak her out.
I'm going to pause this and see if it works. Okay?
Oh, do you want me to just keep talking?
No, it's okay.
I can keep talking.
What are you going to talk about?
I don't know.
I'll pause it.
Oh boy, you don't have faith that I'm not going to get dirty?
No, I just know that it's kind of hard to fill time.
Trust me, it's not going to be hard. It's not going to be hard for me to fill time.
Go for it.
Okay, great.
Tell a story or something.
I will. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the other theme song and see if people like that one.
No, don't torture them like that.
Oh,
Why would you do that?
okay, then I won't.
Okay, so what are you going to talk about? Do you need me to pause it?
Nope, you don't need to pause anything.
Okay.
Just hurry back
I will
because
hurry
I
back.
might run out of things to talk about. Huh? Hurry. Hurry.
All right.
Lori, how are you? How was your weekend? It's still freezing? Well, I don't know what's going on. I'll give the computer a little thump. So anyway, on Friday, I went out to dinner with my friend Karen and my friend Judy. I've known these girls since high school. And we went to Alexander's. Have you ever been there? It's in South Park, and it's Italian. We had the best time. We closed the restaurant down. These two kill me. I laugh so hard with this group. It's just crazy. We had the best time. And Karen was telling a story about, I can't believe I'm going to tell the story. Karen, I'm sorry, but it was so funny. Her sister is going blind. So over Christmas, she was so busy that she didn't get time to shop for her sister. So some of the stuff that her sister had got last Christmas was still at Karen's house, so she just wrapped it up again and gave it back to her. It was the funniest thing I could not believe it. It was hilarious.
Okay, Monique. Oh, don't be barking,
Hi.
Elvis. Monique is here,
How
and
are you?
I'm going to give her your mic.
Okay, great.
Here you go. Okay. Just talk right into here.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? This is so fun.
So, Monique, this is Erik. Monique.
Good to see you in person.
She's like, the PR front man for La Jolla Cosmetic.
Yeah, I'm technically the chief community officer.
Oh.
Doesn't that sound fancy?
Chief CCO. CCO.
yeah.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be great. I'm out of breath. I ran to get you. That's not
she came
sad.
running down and wait, it's okay.
It's sad. That's how little I work out. I'm like totally out of breath. So I wanted you in here so we could talk about like 2022, new you, new beginnings. What kind of things are you guys like introducing this year or continuing or just talk about stuff? Anything interests me with cosmetic surgery. Anything.
Well, and I'm the same way. I'm like the first to volunteer if they need a crash test dummy or something. Like I'll do it. I'm happy. So we, as you know, that you've been at the center, we have 2 offices. We have the medical spa where you can get things done without having surgery, and we have the surgical center where you come in and we have ORs and 5 board certified plastic surgeons, and you know that.
I know number 1 floor. I know the 3rd floor. I know both of them very well.
2 floors in the same building, and so really it's wonderful because you kind of have the whole world at your fingertips. And so some people might say, I really hate my neck, but I have no idea what to do.
Oh my God.
Where do I start?
That's my next thing.
And I think it's the next best thing.
It's
right?
my next. That's something that's really bothering me lately.
And so I think it's one of those things where, sometimes you might have heard from a friend and they got a neck lift or they did the cool sculpting under your neck, or you might have heard something, but maybe you really just don't know what it is that you need. And so you can start, whether you start in our med spa or you start with the surgeons, and just show them, what bothers you, and they can help direct you because, it's either way to us to have you get what you're looking for, accomplish your goals, whether it's, and sometimes it's people, whether it's in their timeline, maybe they don't have the time for recovery. So something that's non-surgical might be better. Or maybe they say, I don't want to have to repeat this in a few years. I'd rather just be done. And, like we do a lot of thread lifts in
I can't wait for you to talk about threads. Do you know about threads?
No.
You don't?
Threads are amazing.
They really are.
So they're great for people who are starting to feel like things are getting lax, but they're maybe not ready for surgery. Okay.
Okay, wait a minute. I just turned 55 on Saturday.
Oh, I just turned 54 last week.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Capricorn.
Yes.
Yeah,
What day was
Capricorn.
yours?
I'm the 25th. I'm Christmas Day.
Oh, my God. Happy.
So it's been actually a couple
Mine was
weeks.
the 8th.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm deathly afraid of surgery.
Okay.
But I kind of want to get the fat under my eyes taken out. Can you do that with threading?
No.
Can you thread my eyelids?
Well, actually, yes and no. So, but I'm looking at you, and I think because you've got a little puffiness, so I think that's something where it's more the fat pads underneath, so they kind of have to go in and take them out. But it's a super easy surgery. Oh, okay. Yes, upper and lower eyes, and that makes a huge difference. That's like the best bang for your buck, I think, in the surgical center, and to make you feel refreshed and renewed, and it's going to last a long time. It's very easy. So a friend of a friend that I recommended just came in. So I'm at this friend's party on Saturday night, and we're outside and we're talking, and this lady's talking and telling me her name, and we start saying something. She goes, "Oh, where do you work?" And I say, "Oh, La Jolla Cosmetic Surgery Center." She's like, "Wait a minute." And she takes her glasses off. She just had her little readers or whatever. And she's like, "You're the one who referred me to Dr. Smoot to do my eyes." And she had just had them done 2 weeks ago. She said, I did not take one pain pill. Not one.
Wow.
She looks so good. It's only been 2 weeks. And she's so happy, and she's going to be set for years. Now, there are some threads that can go under the eyelids, and I think depending on, I'm not the expert on this, but sometimes they can help smooth out that area. But if you have a lot of extra skin, I'm not saying but for your listeners, if you have a lot of extra skin or some extra fat, it's probably going to be surgery, but that surgery is very easy.
Do they take it out, or do they suck it out, or what? Is it a lipo thing?
No, it's not a lipo thing. But they actually can go in from the inside of your eyelid to take out the fat pads. Let's pretend it was only fat that you needed taken out. A lot of times it's skin and fat, so the incisions right along your eye, the ridge of your eye, And on the upper lids, it's the same. It just goes right into the crease, and they kind of blend it out a little bit. And so she was only 2 weeks after surgery, and one side was a little bit red still. You didn't even know. Like, I couldn't even tell. She didn't have makeup on either. So she could have easily, like, when she took off her glasses and I could see it, I saw a little bit of red, but not. It looked.
I bet she's
almost
so
like
happy.
eyeshadow from far. But it's great for men because you heal quick, and it's that one thing. I think it's like on your face. It's the eyes and then the neck.
Yeah.
Or the pre-jowls, whatever they call it.
Because I'm scared to death that I would look like Kenny Rogers. That's one of the
I'm
reasons
not
that I'm
going
so
to pull
different.
anything. They're just going to take out the fat pads.
And take out this. If there's extra skin, they can. There's a lot of little things they can do in there, but it's, sometimes when we see celebrities, it's the ones who've done it 4 times or 5 times. Yeah. It's not the everyday person like you and me, where we go in, we get something done maybe once and then we're done, or we go back later and have, somebody might have a face and neck lift and 10 years ago and then do some threads now for maintenance, or 15 years ago. Or you can reverse it and do threads or something that's non-invasive, like fillers or a combination or lasers, and then kind of make Mother Nature wait a little while, because you're maybe not ever ready for surgery, or maybe you're thinking, well, what can I do now that isn't a full surgery, and put that off for another 5 years or something.
What can you tell Erik about, like, not being scared about surgery? This is why you should be afraid.
Well,
it's not that I'm afraid of surgery. I'm just afraid of looking like Mickey Rourke or Kenny Rogers.
Oh. So I think the best advice for that is two things, but really looking at before and after pictures. That helps you gauge what is this person, this normal person from the down the street, and here they are before, here they are after, and looking at a lot of different photos of different people, and look at the surgeon's work. And I will say, it is important to look at before and after photos on people's websites, because we look on Instagram, we see a bunch of stuff, but we don't know. All of us don't know. Is that photoshopped? Is that like? Has the person made, if the doctor takes the before and then the person posts their own after, how do you know that they didn't alter it in some way? And so it's really important that, the lighting's the same, the distance is the same, the angles are the same. If you were trying to get a profile and look at somebody's neck, if the before they're like facing straight ahead and the after they're tilted up just a pinch, that's enough to stretch the neck out and make it not really a legitimate after. So but I think that's the best way, and that's for any procedure, whether you're talking about something in the med spa or you're talking about something surgical, especially with breast procedures, because breasts are all different shapes and sizes, and some are more tubular and some are more droopy and round and more, some are more wide set and some are more close set. So looking at a lot of before and after photos helps you find maybe somebody who's built like you, who maybe has a shape like you, and then seeing, okay, what did that look like after a 350cc implant or whatever they end up having. And so we try to have that on our website in the gallery, where you can filter by different types of procedures. And if they know the information, they'll say, this 45-year-old woman had and then you can read and see, what exactly.
So you have lots of photos on the website.
Lots of photos, and then even more photos when you come in for consult, because some people
You guys take a lot of photos in the beginning,
Well,
like before you get stuff done, which is great.
Yeah, because you can't get it. You can't get your before again. If we were, heaven forbid, were to miss the before photo after surgery, you can't go back.
You guys have a lot of before photos of me.
But there is having the before photos, and then at the consult, when you're meeting with the doctor or meeting with the provider, sometimes people will give permission to show their photos to other patients during a consultation, but not where it's up on the web. So there's sometimes, if you don't see it on our website, that you're not really finding maybe a certain kind of procedure that you're like, well, they don't have very many results.
Do you have breasts on the website?
Yep.
Are my boobs up there?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe they are, because the picture is just from the neck down.
I have no idea. but they should be soon.
I wonder if somebody will
hope.
pick my boobs. That'd be awesome.
Your boobs are great.
Thank you.
So having, so when you have that consult, then the doctor could also might have other photos at their disposal where the patient has given authorization to be used in a consultation and show that, but they maybe just don't want it up on the website. So.
Erik, I think you should do that for yourself.
Well,
I honestly think you should.
At least talking to somebody and kind of finding out what are your options, because you might have multiple options, or they might say, really, this is like ABC. Here's how long it's going to take to recover. Here's how much it costs. But I think the fear of looking overdone is a valid one. It's very valid. And, that's where that looking at before and afters, you would know if a surgeon is overdoing it, because you would see that in their photos. Yeah. Right? You would kind of go, they look a little tight. And of course, right after surgery, whether you're having breast, whether you're having, any kind of facial work, there's swelling. And even body work, if you're having lipo, you're going to be bigger after surgery than you will be afterwards, because you're holding a lot of water in. There's a lot of, your body, when there's any trauma at all, even little trauma, it's, it compensates by having some swelling. So I think people who have facial surgery, like facelifts, brow lifts, neck lifts, there's some swelling, so the skin is a little more shiny and tight right at the beginning, and not gooey. Like if you touch your face now, it's like pliable, and I know gooey's not the right word.
I was feeling that.
Makes sense. I was listening to Glass Animals on the way over.
I love that song.
The gooey song, so of course it's on my mind. But so at the very beginning, you will be tighter and puffier then, but it's not to worry. And we do show a lot of I think you talked about that, Laura, some progression photos. Like here was the person at a week, here's the person at a month, here's the person at 6 months, and how that normal course, because the more you know about what the healing process is going to be, the easier the healing process
And
is.
they're so good at Jolla Cosmetic, just walking you through the whole process, explaining every detail. I mean, it was explained to me so perfectly. I had no questions at all. And like you said, I looked at the photos, the progression of this one woman who had her boobs done, and they were a little high in the beginning. But as the months went by, they were low, low, low. And then they just looked so incredibly natural. I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
and mine have gone down a lot.
Some time. Yeah, it takes some time. And that's the same. I would think, even if you're having, let's say you go in the med spa and you're having a laser procedure, or you go in the med spa and you're having, lip filler, you're going to be a little more puffy for a couple days. It's not going to be weeks worth, but, or lasers, you're going to take some time to heal. You're going to be more, red, or like looking almost like you had a sunburn than you will 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, that kind of thing. But we do try to prep you really well for what to expect, because I think that is the thing that, just like you, it's like, well, should I even call, because I'm afraid of X, Y, or Z.
Yeah.
They have such an easy hand at Jolla Cosmetic, not a heavy hand, an easy, steady hand. Like, I've never seen anything from Jolla Cosmetic that looks overdone.
Thank you.
At all.
You. Yeah.
'Cause
It's
I want
also
to be able
natural.
to blink. I want to look like
You will blink. You will be able to blink.
Yeah. This is important, and this is something, is what, like this girl that I had only know through my friend, and I didn't meet her till 3 days ago. But I was, I felt really comfortable saying, here's who I would recommend, and here's why, because you don't want to be overdone. You could always go back if
True.
Let's say if your skin tone, I mean, everybody's skin is different, but if later you see like, oh, it just seems a little bit loose still, they can always take more skin. It's hard to put it back.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's one of those, I think it's better when doctors, are on the cautious side, really.
So what is threading?
Yes, because we have
Okay.
filler, we
Yes.
have Botox,
And
now we have threads are
And
exploding.
the threads are exploding. And so threads are not new. And we have a podcast. There's a couple that talk about it, but we are the #1 Nova Threads provider in Southern California. And we have the #1 person whose name is Khan, and he does the most threads in their whole portfolio, and he does training. So threads are actually suture, like resorbable suture that they might use to close a hernia or a tummy tuck, so it's suture, and it's in a little cannula, so it's in like a long hollow tube, and so they numb you up first, let's say you're doing your mid face, your mid or lower face, like most people, like me. I'm ready. I'm like, can I go in? Does anyone have time to help me out? So they kind of come along, but so they would make some incisions.
Sorry.
They would make some incisions to get you numb. And then once you're numb, then they would insert that cannula in and the thread's in it. And then they pull it out and the thread stays. So it's just a way to get the thread in there, basically. But there's different kinds of threads. There's barbed threads, so they sort of have like little teeth. So if you think about the smooth side, it goes in the smooth way. And then when they pull it, it's going to attach on and pull.
Don't be
inside.
scared.
It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I've had one done. It doesn't hurt at all.
No, it really doesn't hurt. I've had them done.
Are
I
you
had them done.
awake?
Yes.
Yeah,
you're just
awake.
numbed up on the side. Do you see immediate results?
You do. And that's something that's great with threads. So threads is sort of, you get a benefit immediately and it gets better over time. What happens is when your body sees that's a foreign object, right? So that thread is not part of you normally. So your body goes in and over 6 weeks that suture will resorb and go away, dissolves. But your body goes in and it stimulates collagen production. So they have little twisty ones that don't do one thing, and they have barbed ones that pull more. So they have all these different kinds. So don't ask me about
Give
all
me
of
the
them.
barbed ones, baby.
Yeah, but there's all these different ones to do different things. So sometimes maybe they're trying to help you with an area of your face that might be depressed a little bit, and they can put some little spirally ones or whichever ones help stimulate collagen or to help with scarring, and then maybe the barbed ones you're trying to pull. But Con had a really great way to help you understand how would you know if you're a candidate for threads or you need a facelift, let's say, or let's say if we're talking about the face. If you can take one finger and put it wherever you want, whether it's your knee, I mean, they can do threads everywhere. If you can do one finger and it makes enough of a difference for you, then threads would be appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to take your whole hand and pull to really get what you're looking for, then maybe threads are not going to be it. So
Something more.
So if I was to do this, like right
He's
now,
pulling
I
his
look like a
face.
Shar-Pei, right?
he does not look like a
I know he doesn't.
Yeah. See,
right.
I feel like that's
So he would just need threads. It doesn't look like you would need a full bottom facelift
and,
or
and
anything.
when they put the threads, so when they do their little plan, they've got like, they put a whole bunch in. And I think Con did mention, he does training all around the United States. And if you were to Google threads, you might see people who are like, oh, it's not worth it. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. Well, there's a lot of places out there that'll put maybe a third of the amount that you need to get that result. So you've got to really look again at the provider. It is provider dependent because their expertise is important in this way. It's not, just something that doesn't matter who's putting it on you. Like, even there's an art even to cool sculpting where that's that machine is doing the work, right? But what kind of applicators do you use? Where do we place them? There's all these different shapes of things that, this one's better for arms and this one's better for here and there. And so, provider expertise really does matter, even on things that we might all, as lay people, think of as, not technically important or not, I don't know, what's the right word for, you think, it's just a med spa thing, so it's probably the same here as it would be 10 miles down the road. But a lot of these things are very provider specific, and you want a provider who's been doing it a while and has done hundreds and thousands of them. So the podcast that dropped last week,
their podcasts drop every Tuesday.
Every
La Jolla
Tuesday.
Cosmetic has a podcast every Tuesday.
and it's called
Yeah.
the La Jolla Cosmetic Podcast. So last week, the one that came out was about 2 ways to combat cellulite.
Ooh.
And Con is the one who's talking about it. And we talk about Selfina, which is a way, it's a technology, I guess is the right thing to call it. To we have like connective tissue. If you think of and he talked about Roman columns, so women are different than men, and men don't get cellulite as often, and he explains why. But it's like those columns are tight, and then the fat kind of pooches up, so you get these dimples and puffs. And so Selfina goes in and it's sort of cutting that tension, that the band that's pulling down, that's creating the dimple. Well, what he also does then is uses threads to help augment the result. So say you can do Selfina, maybe will do the dimples on your backside, but maybe you have, you think about, well, what about the front of my thighs? That's cellulite, and maybe it's not. Maybe it's just loose skin. And then he can use threads to pull up on.
Like how many threads are we talking?
I don't know.
Oh, you
That's
don't know.
a good question.
Okay. But quite a few.
Yeah, you probably. And then there's also one other thing that he talked about on that, which is an injectable called Quo, which is QWO. And that is where he can, say you have your Selfina, that really targets most of it, but say after the healing process, you've still got 2 dimples. Then he would use Quo and inject, and it dissolves that band. Instead of manually cutting it, it dissolves it. But it's something that, you want to have like a month or so before you want to hit the beach in your thong. You want to have that. So this is the perfect time. This is the perfect time of year. You're talking about new year. What do this is a great time of year for body contouring. So if you're doing lipo, we do the 360 lipo, which is all the way around your whole trunk, basically.
Oh, wow.
The HD lipo, which is the high definition lipo.
What does that mean?
So that where you can get like a 6-pack. You have to go check out these photos. They're
my
amazing.
gosh.
So Hector Salazar,
I know
he
Dr.
is
Salazar.
our resident expert in the high definition or HD lipo. And so you just get that like 6-pack or 8-pack. I don't know how many packs you have. I'm not a man, and women, maybe they want definition too, but maybe not in the same way that a guy does, or like the V along the front.
I love that V. I love you.
And
Erik, you have a V? Oh,
and there's
boy.
a back V too. Like there's that, and so you can go and you'll be able to see on the before and after photos really like how they can really contour the body.
Let me tell you, that back V is hard to get.
I know, and it looks so good.
It does, yeah.
It looks so good.
Yeah, it does. And so, and then the 360 lipo, Dr. Swiston is the one who's really kind of the person who does probably the most of the 360. And that really is just all the way around. And we do have a podcast about that too. I think now we've got like 34
wow.
episodes. So all of a sudden, now we have this library. There's a lot of really good content in there. I've learned so much, and I've been there for 30 years, literally.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
30 years.
Isn't that
But
crazy?
I keep learning new stuff as I do this podcast that I had never known before. So I have a lot in my head of what things can do and how long things take to heal and that kind of stuff, but I still keep learning new things, and I think that's a really great way for if you're thinking you might want to do something, it's without even having to ever come to us in the first place. You don't even have to make a phone call. You can just go listen to the podcast and then see how, if you want to proceed to the next step.
How do we get the podcast?
So it's on all the places you get podcasts, and it's called the Jolla Cosmetic Podcast.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
What is like the tier pricing for threading?
I think they do it by. That's a good question, and we have all our prices on our website. Oh. So.
Oh, that's good.
And sometimes it's a range because
right.
Who knows exactly what it's going to be for you when you get your quote, but at least to get an idea. So we have all our price ranges on the website. It's very transparent, and we've always done that. I think it saves everybody a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody's calling us and they make an appointment, they think liposuction's $500. That's a waste of their time to even come in for a consult. It's a waste of the doctor's time. So we want to help prepare everyone for kind of what you might be looking at. And then when you have your consultation, we give you an actual quote, a written estimate, so you know exactly what you're dealing with. And we work with financing companies, and that's good. But if you're thinking about, let's say, threads, I think they have sort of a price for let's say the lower face or the mid face or the brow. I think they kind of carve it up into body sections. But I don't want to misspeak because I'm not.
So
exactly
it's on the
sure.
website. That's
But
great.
it's on the website, and so every once in a while you'll see something that might say call for pricing, where it's almost impossible to give a range. But almost everything we have a range, and then we have a membership club that we've now been doing for maybe 12 years. It's called the Glam Fam.
The Glam Fam.
The Glam Fam, and so
that's the website, right?
and
Glamfam.com.
Glamfam.com. Yep. And so our Glam Fam I guess, and people hate it when I explain it this way, but to me, it's the easiest way to understand it. It's sort of like Costco. You pay your fee for the year, and that allows you to shop at Costco. So the Glam Fam, there's a yearly fee, and then that gets you the best pricing on everything, whether it's products, whether it's services in the med spa, no matter what, it's going to get you the best price. And when you, like Laura, you had your surgery, you get Glam Fam free for a year because you had your surgery. So you started downstairs, and then you're going to go, if you go to the med spa. But we guarantee that if you don't make your money back, and it's $120 for the year, most people will make their money back in either 1 to 2 visits. It's definitely the best way to go, because then you get package pricing. Like, say you're going to do cool sculpting, or you're doing threads, anything that you're doing, where you might have multiple sessions. Like in cool sculpting, maybe you want to do your love handles, but you really need 2 sessions. So you've got 2 applicators, 1 on each side, 2 sessions, that's 4. And then maybe you say, okay, but I want my, mid-abdomen also, and that's maybe 2 more applicators, and that's twice. So all of a sudden you might be at 6 or 8. Well, we give a package deal to the Glam Fam members, so you get a much better pricing.
That is just so. It must be like a kid in a candy store.
I am all the time. Can you tell I'm like
yes.
not at all excited about it?
Oh my gosh, you are. I would be the same exact way. I love all this stuff. I love it.
So if I was Laura's husband and you had a Glam Fam membership, does that apply to just one person?
It's just that one person. Yes.
Okay. You'd have to be a member too, hubby. Okay. Honey.
But it's worth it. Yeah. I mean, if and like I said, if it doesn't pay for itself, we'll give you your money back. But I don't think that's ever happened in the 10 or however many years we've been 10, whatever, 12.
What kind of surgeries or things are men getting done these days?
So
what do you see a lot of men doing? Men,
so eyes, just what he asked about. That's one thing that men do a lot. Lipo. They will do a lot of liposuction because it's
hard to lose that.
The love handles,
right.
And no matter how fit you are. Now, if you're a guy who has, you're overweight, but you have like the beer belly that people talk about, and it's tight, that's going to be pretty hard to treat with either cool sculpting or lipo, because that's fat that's around your organs. That's intracavity fat. But if it's subcutaneous fat, like the kind we can grab, then that's the kind that is really good for lipo. And so the doctors will, if you say, yeah, I'm really at this weight, I've been at this weight for a long time, I'm pretty happy with it. And if you're within 5 or 10 pounds of your weight that you like, but you're like, I just can't get rid of this part, or when I swear this is so embarrassing, but so I love to go to USC football games, and when you're a woman and you like wave that pom pom,
and
then
gosh,
you're doing the pom pom, and then like the
flappy
arm
flap.
is flip,
the bingo arms,
yeah. So certain things are not going to go away no matter how much.
I mean, you'd have to take skin off to make that go away.
And this is the thing. And we actually just recorded one. I don't know when it'll drop, but we just recorded one about massive weight loss and what people do who might be if you're losing maybe 100 or 150 pounds, what happens to the skin, no matter what age you are. But anyway, so I think it's one of those things where, so for men, getting back to men, another thing, so men don't... Maybe men do think about this, but they don't talk about it, is their breasts. So
boobs, boobs.
And men, so it's sort of hormonally driven with young men. So, and sometimes that is a hormone issue. But in older men, I think it's like 60% or something of men have what they call gynecomastia. Which
I heard it was caused by pot smoking.
Really?
I don't know. I heard that one time that if you smoke pot a lot, you'll get man boobs.
I wonder if it changes your hormonal balance.
I don't know, but I've seen that before.
Or they're just hungrier and they eat more.
Yeah,
I don't know. But anyway, regardless, they can take skin out, they can liposuction, they can kind of do a little bit of both. That's such a what's the word? Like gratifying. Yeah. because a lot of guys are just too embarrassed to take their top off at the beach. They don't want to remove their shirt. It's like the guys who are losing their hair, and that's another thing that we do.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Salazar, right?
Dr. Salazar does hair restoration, both non-surgical and surgical. But it's one of those the guys who won't take off their hat. Well, I get it. There's a lot of us women who don't like our arms, and we don't take off our jacket either. So, there's always ways to fix things. But that's something that I think men, we do. It's not like we do a ton of it, but there are a lot of men who that's an area that they're a little bit embarrassed about, and they just want to feel more confident. And I think that's at the end of the day, what we do is we help give confidence. We're helping our tagline or 100%. Our brand promise is making dreams become real. And, like you had a dream, you've been thinking about it for years, and then all of a sudden it's been done. And,
it is just.
But I think it's really, it comes down to confidence, right?
Oh,
so it's
yeah.
Like, when you put on a great dress or you put on a great outfit and you look good, you kind of have your head held high, your chin up, you feel like really great when you're walking in somewhere or you just get your hair done. It's kind of like that, but you're wearing that procedure in a way, and it becomes part of you. And I think you said that.
It does.
Day.
Like I don't even feel like. Well, first of all, I don't feel anything, and I don't even feel like I ever got anything done. I feel like I've always had these boobs, and they have always been this size, and my skin and the texture, it all fits. It all worked out, and it
so
looks
cool and
100% real.
And of course, at this very same party that I was at, I talked to another lady who had gotten breast implants, and she's at a point in her life where she's like, I just got them, and I got them way too big. I got them after I had my kid, and and now I've had them for 20 years or 25, and she's like, and they're not me anymore. And so there's a lot of that too. So we have a lot of people who, want to go bigger. But then there's a lot of people who maybe want to change out their implants for something smaller. Maybe they want to remove them completely. And that's something that we do as well, because you do change in life. What's important to you when you're 23 is different when you're 50.
Yeah.
Sorry. That was my next question to you. Do you see in the environment that you're in, like kind of trends, like as clothing, like where, for years ago, like the porn star boobs were the thing where every woman wanted these huge boobs.
Home.
And now kind of with the Kardashians and Nicki Minaj and all these women want these huge butts. And so do you guys see that?
Yeah, for sure, trends. And I think social media has only made it more so just because we all have access at our fingertips to see a whole bunch of stuff all the time. But really, those people are just the 0.1% of what normal results are. And that's why I go back to that, looking at before and after photos, because that's sort of on the far end of what
it's almost freakish.
Wants.
Right.
Yeah. And there are
freakish.
people who want that, and go for it. But really, 99% of all of us just want to look better.
We want to be us.
Right.
We just want to be a little enhanced.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can talk about this or not, but I'm going to ask this question.
Oh, God.
Here we go.
Do you have people that come in where you're just like, no way, we're not doing that?
Yeah, there are people, and it's not. I don't know. The doctors would be better to speak about maybe the percentages, but you hear about body dysmorphic disorder, people who think that they're overweight when they're really thin, or people who think that they just need more of something. And this happens in the med spa. And actually, I spoke with Julia last week on the podcast, and I think her episode might drop tomorrow, where we talked about lips. And this is, you start to see some of these women and you're like, what happened to their face? Because their lips are huge and they behave strangely. Like when you watch them talk, you're like, what is wrong with her mouth? Or you see them from the side and it looks really weird. But they kind of lose perspective of what they should look like and what a normal result is. And if you go to a place that just says yes to you,
right,
that's a dangerous thing,
oh,
because there's
my
a lot of
gosh.
places that'll take your money. And that stuff doesn't go away. She talks about it. It can stay, even though, let's say, one of the products is, on the box tells you it's going to last for 18 months. That doesn't mean it's all gone by 18 months.
Right.
I would have thought that. I would have thought, okay, it means it's time for more. But it doesn't mean you could still have residual 5 years later.
Sure.
It's not going to be the same amount, but and some people's metabolism, you eat it up faster than, or where it is placed, your mouth, it moves a lot. If it was under your eyes, it doesn't really go anywhere, but I think going to a place where they're not going to just take your money and they'll tell you no.
Right.
And I went in actually to get some Botox, as I do.
As we all do. Well, not Erik, but soon.
And I was talking to the provider, and she's like, what is wrong? And she was sort of like looking at my eyelids, and she's like, what is wrong with your eyes? They were all puffy. I said, I know they're really puffy and they've been kind of weird looking. And I think I just need an eyelid lift. It's that time, right? I'm 54 now. And she goes, I don't think that's what it is. Did you ever have filler under your eyes? And I was like, yeah, but like 5 years ago. And maybe before that, 10 years before that. I mean, really, it's not very much. She goes, I think it's migrated or something. And sure enough, so she used the hyaluronidase, which is a dissolver. So
you can, if you get too big a lips, you can dissolve it down, right?
And she said, I don't want to do anything until let's see if we can get rid of that. By that night, they had gone down, and we've done one more session. So like we're kind of getting me back to baseline. So then she wants to do some threads under there to see if, because I don't really think I have a ton of excess skin.
You don't.
It's, a little more hollow and not perfect. I'm not ever going to be perfect, but if we could like make things a little better or like where the shadows hit you, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
But it was, if I'd gone somewhere else, they might've said, oh yeah, let's
stick some more in there.
Stick more in.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, let's see if we can.
That happened to me where I said my eyes were kind of getting hollow. And I was like, please just put some filler in there. And she was like, no, that's not what you need. You need actually a little bit down in your cheek because we want you kind of want your eyes a little sunken in, just a little bit, or else it looks too weird with the cheek right up against your eye.
Yeah, and that's what you end up seeing. And I think that's what we all notice
that's what we notice.
It's a celebrity or somebody on TV and you're like, why is their cheeks are huge?
Yeah.
They're like huge, or their brow, or all of a sudden they've like grown something under, And so the great part about hyaluronic acid fillers, so like the Juvederm line, the Restylane line, and there's a whole bunch of products in those portfolios, but they're hyaluronic acid based, and that's a protein that's in your body that's naturally occurring, and it kind of helps bring water into the area. So when they, if it's not right, they can dissolve it and it almost instantly goes away. And it takes some time for your body to clear it all out, but it really helps.
There's a fix.
We had a lady who had she'd been coming to us, and I don't know what made her, she was embarrassed, but she's like, I don't know what made me go somewhere else, but I did. She
cheated on you guys.
she cheated on us, but I get it. Your friend tells you something, or you find a Groupon or something. I mean, it's not the way I would go, but she cheated. She called us and she's like, my lip is sort of bluish.
Uh-oh.
And the person had, I guess, injected the filler into like a vein or
something.
Oh no. Something. I don't want to misspeak on which anatomy part was, but it can be. It's not just like ketchup that's not going to hurt you. If it's not placed in the right spot or around the eyes, I mean, if they don't know the anatomy very well, you can go blind. It's a very slim chance, but you can't like leave these things to chance. You want to go, whether you come to us or not. That's my big thing, is really about patient education. And I always, when people ask for referrals, I'll give other surgeons that are nearby that I know are also good. You don't have to choose where I say, but I want you to go somewhere safe where you're going to have that's reputable, and you're going to have a good outcome. And so, so they said, get in here. They did the hyaluronidase, to get her circulation back, but she was like losing oxygen to the area.
Goodness.
And then you could have skin dying, and then what do you do?
Oh, thank God she called you guys back.
Getting your lips, you're thinking, oh, it's just no big deal. Yeah. Well, it is. So, and those are really one-off. But in
plastic surgery, you kind of get cosmetic surgery, you get what you pay for. You really do.
And us being this close to the border,
Yes.
so I had a girl who messaged through Instagram, and I'm the one who gets all the Instagram messages, and she had gone to some sort of filler party.
In Mexico?
No, she was here. Here's what's interesting. She was here. She's 21 years old, and she had like a big bump in her lip, almost like a granuloma, like a hard thing, and it had been like 6 or 7 months since the filler. Because I was thinking, if it just happened, maybe it'll go down. It was not swelling.
Like a blackhead or something?
It was I think it was underneath the surface, but she could feel you could see like this little bump. And it was almost like if you had a pea under there or something, you had something under there, like a little rock. Well, so I asked her what product did they use on you? And she told me, and I was like, I've never heard of that. So I'm Googling this product. It's not a product that's FDA approved in the United States. But what happened was, so she had the injection here, but the person brought it something that's not allowed in this country.
Gosh.
Over the border.
Oh,
and that's
no.
something that I had never thought about until this happened. I always think about, people can go across the border. And
There
then,
are billboards everywhere down there for cosmetic
and
surgery.
So that, so she's going to some house party and she's thinking, it's only $250 instead of $600 or $700. And yet she's got something that's not FDA approved in her face. She's super young. She's now got this thing that might have to be cut out. It was just like, and so it's like, I think we have to be smart consumers about this stuff. That yes, it's fun and we can do a lot of things that make all of us feel better. And I so encourage people to do what makes you happy. Like, don't worry about the haters. Just do what you want to do. And if you want to do it, you don't know anybody's explanation about why you're doing it or when you're doing it, or you don't even have to tell anybody. Just, you do
I love
you
that.
the way you are. But be a smart consumer and be, savvy about, okay, I'm going to read reviews, and I'm going to read reviews.
You guys have a lot of
everywhere I can.
reviews on the
We have
website.
Thousands. And they're from real patients. If you go on Yelp, and there's a lot of great reviews of us on Yelp, but you don't really know. Yelp isn't saying, were you really a patient there?
Sure.
It's no big deal
Very
if you're talking
subjective.
about the Mexican restaurant down the street. Did you ever go to that restaurant? Well, that's not as important if you're reviewing the restaurant, if you really ate there, although it's important for them. But if you're talking about surgery, it could be a crazy ex-girlfriend who's mad about, who knows, It could be anybody who has an axe to grind. So you have to so we have verified reviews. So all of our patients, after a consultation, we send them a survey, and it's actually a third party that sends the survey on our behalf, but it's all anonymous. So they are sending the surveys, and if the patient has had an experience that they're not happy with, it'll ask them, can we contact the practice on your behalf, and so that we can make it right. We need to know if something didn't go well, or you waited
that's good
too
to
long
know.
or something. That's how can we get better if we don't know? We of course we love all the 5-star reviews and we love seeing happy patients, but when there isn't and things happen, then we want to be able to make it right, and we want to fix whatever it was. If somebody didn't get back to them quick enough, or you never know. But so we have thousands of reviews through real patient ratings, and then you can also look on Google or Yelp, or there's other places. So it's sort of taking the broad middle of all of that. So I think that's really important. And
Yeah.
God, I love everything you just said about you don't know anybody an explanation.
Right.
You don't. You do not. You have yourself to answer for. And that's why finally, instead of people saying, in my life saying, you don't need a breast augmentation, you don't need boobs, don't get it done, that's dumb. I was done. I'm like, I want this. In my heart of hearts, wanted this since I was 12 or 16.
I hate to admit that, but that was me.
were you, that's okay.
Every
I
time
know.
she said I was going to get
He
boobs, I'm
was.
like, you're not getting boobs.
I know. And I'm like, you know what?
Well, and I think it's doing it for the right reason. You want to do it for you. You don't want to do it to save
I didn't want to do it for you. Yeah, I wanted to do it for me.
Right. But for some women, there might be somebody who says, no, I'm feeling like my husband's losing interest in me.
Uh-huh.
Don't do it for him. Don't do
Right.
it because you think, he probably will be more interested in you. That's possible. But don't do it for someone else. You have to do it for yourself. You can't do it to please someone else. And I think that's, especially as women and as we get older, we start to get a little more insecure about things.
Oh, for sure.
And if you're doing it to make yourself feel better, great. But don't do it to try to save a marriage or do it, that's not really a good reason, because what if you get it done and then your marriage still doesn't work out?
Well, you'll
And
look
then
great.
You will look great.
You'll still look great. So what's the problem?
But I mean, does that make sense?
Yes, it does make
sort
sense.
I just think you have to kind of like do some soul searching and go,
Right.
am I doing this because I want it or because somebody else is telling me to? Right. And so if you do it because you want it, and even, I think us in the business, we do all kinds of stuff all the time. And I'll still have people going, why did you do that? You didn't need that. I'm like, yes, I did. Because I think I needed it.
Yeah.
And I wanted it. And that's something I did for me. And I think that's something that COVID has sort of taught us, as like we are all stuck at home for a while. Well, we're on Zoom all the time now. And we look at our necks all the time. It's depressing. But, and can we have the filter in real life all the time?
I know. Those.
Sure. If I could walk around with those filters on, let me tell you.
Yeah. So
that smoothing filter. I love that thing.
I know. I'm like, okay, we got to have that. But something it taught us is like life is short, and we, if it bothers you, fix it.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that, and people have gotten more educated because they had time stuck at home. They've gotten more educated. Like now we started the podcast really because we did a bunch of Zooms live with the doctors while everybody was on lockdown. And we had so many people saying, this is so helpful to learn. And like I look back at, and that was 2 years ago, maybe almost, and they're
What, the early podcast?
No, our early, like our little Zoom lives that we were doing. We were doing the quarantine with LJC. So it was a quarantine, like we'll spill the tea on this topic or that topic. And, I look back, I'm like, oh my God, because the podcast is now way better. But, it's all good. But I think people are doing more research on their own. And that's good, and that can also be bad because there's a lot of crazy stuff out there. So certain things you want to, get your information from good places, but at least you're kind of priming yourself with some good info so that when you have that consultation with the provider in the med spa or with the plastic surgeon, that you've really got everything you've already kind of learned about it a little bit, and then you are kind of, again, being that more savvy consumer.
I only got, out of all the comments from my breast augmentation, I got 2 bad ones. One of them was, why didn't you start with your face?
Oh, my God.
Remember that? And then the other one was interesting. It said, how could you be so selfish and do that when you're sending a daughter to college or something? So I just wrote back, you know what? Evan's fine. And better, if I'm a better person and I feel better about myself, I'm more confident, I'm a better mom, I'm a better friend, I'm a better daughter, I'm a better worker, all around. It affects everything.
This is true.
Your boobs really have made you a delight.
Haven't they? I know. They are just
really good.
Oh my gosh.
Really good.
I'm wearing a deep V top and I love it.
So cute.
I was the first man to see them.
Oh,
Were
he
you?
was. He saw them. He saw my naked befores.
Yeah.
Oh,
He,
wow.
yeah, he did.
Aren't you
And
brave?
I'm so brave.
You really are.
Oh my gosh, I'm so brave.
You're like the Rosa Parks.
Oh, stop it. You're crazy. All right. The website for La Jolla Cosmetic is glamfam.com. That's glamfam.com. And La Jolla Cosmetic, where dreams become real. I love saying that.
Oh, good. You sound so good when you say it,
Oh,
too.
thank you. This is Monique. Thank you so much for all
you,
your
Monique.
knowledge.
Oh, you're welcome.
You were awesome.
This is fun.
It's so
Anytime.
Oh.
You just tell me.
I could talk about this stuff all day long.
Scarily, so can I.
And it's the La Jolla
And I
Cosmetic
do.
podcast.
Yeah, that's right. Come on, listen to the podcast, and I think it's just a good place to kind of get your feet wet in terms of what are the things that are out there, how do you get started, giving yourself some knowledge.
You know what? I might listen back to the one of me right before surgery, because there's one of me before,
Right.
one the day of, I think,
I think it was
Or the day
we did
before.
a couple days after,
and then one
and
right
then
after.
one like 5 weeks or something or 4.
I want to
don't
go back and
remember.
listen to those.
Yeah, they're good.
I
they're
know.
Really
Oh,
good. They're really
thanks.
good because you can't remember the headspace that you're in kind
No.
of prior to surgery.
Oh, I've just been excited all around. all around. Well, Monique, thank you so much for joining our
welcome.
podcast. We really
Yeah,
appreciate
super fun.
it.
Thank you.
And we
Super
do
fun
something
meeting you.
when we end the podcast, I call it locking out. We have a phrase that we say. Will you say it with us? I'll go
Yes.
first.
Okay.
Love your podcast.
Love your podcast.
Love your podcast.
I love you, my sweet babies.